NyynewsTV. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course SGR. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Homie, New York, Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine, grab your shades and umbrellas. NyynewsTV, you're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 319 of the NyynewsTV podcast. We're live on NyynewsTV. I'm your host, Christian. And this week we're joined by the Don, the boss of NyynewsTV, Pete Simonetti. Pete, what's up, man?
Yo. Isn't that what that's what Chris does, right? Does he
yeah,
does he do it at the beginning of the show too or no?
I don't know what he does. I don't really pay attention to him.
We'll take it.
I think we're looking at an empty chair over there, aren't we?
The hell? What the hell is going on there?
Oh, Madonna me. Unfortunately, Ryan is running a little late today, and Chris is not joining us this week. It's typhoid fever running through his house again. Right? Whatever's going on.
Fevers, okay.
Yeah, whatever's running on in Ohio, there may be a little stuff going on over there. You never know.
Little chemicals going on. Little chemical action going on over there. Okay.
But unfortunately, Chris is dealing with a couple of sick kids. We hope that the kids are feeling better. He couldn't join us this week. I don't know where the hell Ryan is. We teased this last week. Ryan is always like, oh, I'm never there when you guys have Guardy on. And we gave him an entire week to prepare for this. He's late. I don't know if Ryan's upset, still crying about the Eagles losing a Super Bowl last night, but we can't keep. Yeah, it could be that, but we can't keep him waiting any longer. It's the return of the Gardy report. Gardy, what's up, bro?
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? How we doing today, guys?
This is unbelievable.
Who's that? Is that Chris? Your voice changed, Chris.
No, this is Pete.
Oh, Pete Simonetti. How you doing, Pete?
I'm
doing a great job with
Gardy.
that channel. I've been following it. I've had a lot of downtime, so I've been able to check out NyynewsTV, and you're doing some good stuff over there. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem, Gardy.
This is amazing.
Well, you said that you have a lot of downtime and you've been watching the channel. So last week we wanted to get your take on this. When you agreed to be on the show this week, last week we had the Yankees championship draft. Chris, myself, and SGR drafted teams from the Yankees' last 5 world champions.
Right.
You, for the longest time, Gardy, you were the last connection to that 2009 championship team. You were drafted with the 27th overall pick, and that was the Yankees' 27th World Series championship. What are your thoughts on that and being drafted in that position by the fellows?
I mean, not a terrible position, but what are some names that were chosen before me?
I think
not like Cody Ransom or somebody like that, right?
I think like a Ricky Leday maybe went ahead of you.
Well,
yeah.
That's it's a bit disrespectful and disappointing to say the least. I should have been at least top 25, guys.
So, Gardy, how are things down in Holly Hill, South
Oh
Carolina these
man,
days?
Holly Hill's been great. I've just been keeping busy, trying my best. I had the Brett jet for a while. We moved on to the Guardy party bus, but too much downtime means I'm not really having any source of income. I have had to trade in the Guardy party bus, and now I'm just kind of driving. I still have my sports cars. I got the Corvette, which I call the Corbrette, and I still do have the keys to my Lamborghini, which we call in Holly Hill, we call that the Lamborghini. You hear it coming a mile away.
Gardy, one of these days, man, you've been coming on the show now going for
Right.
5 years. We still
Yeah.
can't get you on the same time as SGR. Can we, before the season starts, can we get you on again? This way we could have you
Sure.
with SGR.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I've been
I would
trying to
love it
meet
if you
this
guys
guy
could chat.
for 5 years now. We just can't seem to connect and find the time for one another. But yeah, I would love to be here for SGR. SGR, if you're listening, reach out and we could set something up for the future here.
Gardy, I have one last thing to ask
All right.
here. The Yankees are reporting the camp this week. You did not play last year. I want to get your thoughts on the fact that Aaron Hicks is still in left field and the Yankees won't return your phone calls.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, it's definitely a pill that I got to swallow, and it's not a soft pill, guys. It is certainly a hard pill. It's a hard pill to swallow, and nothing I could do. I'm just trying to rekindle my relationship with Garrett Cole. I've been reaching out to him, trying to make up for the whole Spider Tack locker room incident. That he still won't return my calls, and that's kind of priority one when it comes to the Yankee organization, rekindling that, and maybe from there we'll see if there's more calls to be made.
You don't want to take a shot at Aaron Hicks.
It's tough. It's tough. I don't want to, say anything that's going to, you're going to quote me on, because that's not something that, in today's climate is the greatest idea. And, I just got to do what's in my best interest. And, I'm sorry, Garrett Cole, if you're listening, and, just we'll take it one day at a time here in Holly Hill.
It's smart, Gardy, not burning any bridges, because the Yankees are in need of a left fielder. And
you know what, too? I'm looking at this Jeets deal with Fox Sports, and who knows? Maybe if the field's not in my cards, who knows? Maybe I'll be in the booth with Jeets.
Okay. Pete, before we let Gardy go, man, you might not have another opportunity to speak to him. Do you have anything you want to ask Gardy?
I got some. I got to ask him this question here.
Right.
Is the whole Garrett Cole incident the reason why you're not the left fielder right now? Is this accurate?
That is maybe a fair assumption to be made. I think, like I
This
said,
is big.
yeah, no, it's definitely
Breaking
something
news
that
here.
you can't cross that bridge until you get through the detour. And right now, that detour is my relationship with Yankees ace starting pitcher Garrett Cole.
What was the Lamborghini called again, Gardy?
The Lamborghini.
Okay.
Do you use the Lamborghini when you pick up Applebee's for on your DoorDash deliveries?
Yeah, I'll go right on car side to go. So, and I don't even have to call them. They hear. I'll beat my horn. It's my signature John Sterling call. I got it customized.
Oh wow!
And then it just pops right up. So they know.
Gardy, we thank you, man. We appreciate you spending a few
awesome.
minutes with us before spring training starts. Got anything you want to say to the fans before you go?
Just be on the lookout. I'm working closely with Mike Francesa these next couple weeks. We are kind of sitting down. He's kind of been sort of like a therapist to me lately, trying to kind of just get my bearings in order. So just be on the lookout for some quality content.
Nice.
Oh wow, we can't wait to hear any conversations you might have with Mike.
We might even, who knows, we might even drop a pod. We might be your competition in a couple weeks. Who knows?
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah,
all right,
well, you can quote me on that.
All right, Gardy, stay safe out there in Holly Hill. All right.
All right, guys, take it easy, Pete.
All right.
Thank you, Brett.
All right,
bye,
guys.
All
What
right,
a
that was the Gardy report, man. I haven't talked to Gardy in a while.
I've never talked to him before.
Yeah, interesting fellow, right?
He is. I love the idea that, the Lamborghini is quite amazing. And then also the Brett Jet. I mean, I don't know if we got any pictures of that. Did anybody ever get a picture of the Brett jet?
He used to park it right outside of Chris's house when we recorded, but we never thought to ever take a
Wow.
picture of it. So it's like one of
Who
those
would ever
things,
think
man.
that Guardy would be a superhero? Look at this. Again,
What's up, guys?
Ryan,
Sorry, man. I'm really upset, and it's been tough to even sit down.
do you know what time it is?
Yeah, that's what that's what got me through the day. The Guardy time for the Guardy report.
Gardy just left.
this is unbelievable. I mean, we can never
Ryan.
get. It's unbelievable. I thought we'd figure this stuff out. We'll
Ryan,
get
we gave you
on
an
here.
entire week,
But
Ryan.
I know,
An
but you
entire
know how
week.
I am with football. It's tough. It's hard.
You know
for
what?
Me to get
After
my
an
schedule
Eagles
in order.
Super Bowl loss, the fact that you're even here is
Right.
you deserve an accommodation for that. So,
Yeah.
thank
So
you.
Do you know, Rye? Do you know that Gardy has a Lamborghini?
Yeah, the Lamborghini.
The Lamborghini. You knew that already.
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen. I think he used to pull up to the podcast in the Brett jet, but he doesn't have that anymore.
No.
No, he got rid of that.
All right.
Times
All
are
right,
tough, man. He's not the
Yeah.
left fielder anymore, so
Right.
Inflation's hard out there,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Think about
Hitting
filling
Holly
up the
Hill.
Brett jet. I mean, that got to be costly.
A lot of money.
So the Yankees are reporting to camp this week. Players that are participating in WBC actually reported today. So the Yankees got a little bit of a bad news that Nestor Cortez. Well, I don't think he should have ever went in the first place. So I'm okay with it, but not the reason why. Is revealed that Nestor Cortez has a grade 2 hamstring strain, so he's staying home from the WBC.
Yep.
We haven't even officially begun spring training yet, and the Yankees are already down to starting pitchers. Now, this is something we spoke about a couple weeks ago about them needing depth in the organization. The list of non-roster invitees doesn't excite anybody. Somebody was mentioning names like Michael Waka and Dylan Bundy that maybe the Yankees can bring in. Okay. I mean, how big, let's start here. How big of a loss is it for the Yankees if this Nestor Cortez thing carries into the regular season here?
I would say, I mean, if it does carry in, I mean, it's happening early, so it's happening right before, a couple of days before they actually report. But if this is something that stays around and they go into the season with this, I mean, that's 2 of their starters out. Thankfully, again, they got Carlos Rodon. Look, it's not an arm thing. I mean, I think for me, that's the biggest takeaway from this. It's a grade 2 hammy injury, which is bad. Grade 2 is significantly high. It's higher than 1. 1, 2.
Right.
You got 2 is
Okay,
higher than 1.
one,
So
two.
that's a breakthrough.
Then you have 3. Okay.
You have 3 right after that, so that's a breakthrough. But if it does go that far, I mean, you're right, Christian. You brought this up a lot of that they don't have depth, and they need that because if he is out, I mean, you got to rely on those top 3 guys, and that's really it. Who the hell? I mean, you got Domingo Herman, but what else? What else is really there if more things happen during spring training? They haven't even started yet, and they got 2 guys down.
After Rodon was signed, and you looked at the starting rotation, and you said to yourselves, this is maybe the best starting rotation in the American League. Houston's up there, obviously, but you put the Yankees in the conversation. As much as I like to refer to him as bum-ass Frankie Montas, him as your number 5 is a very attractive number 5 because he has that ceiling where most number 5s don't have.
Yeah.
Now you take him out of the mix, you slot in Domingo Herman, who is more of a quote-unquote number 5 type guy. Not as sexy maybe, but it's still a pretty solid rotation. You have 2 of the best pitchers in baseball heading up that rotation, and then Luis Severino, who, when healthy, this he's got some of the nastiest stuff. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball when he's healthy. And then Nestor Cortez performed like it over the last 2 years. So you're still looking at a 1 through 4 that is it's elite. Let's be fair about it. It's not Yankee homerism. That's a 1 through 4. That's pretty elite right there.
Yeah.
All right, now you're looking at it with Nestor Cortez could be missing time, and I know a lot of people want to be like, oh, well, it's just that the Yankees didn't want to send him to the WBC, which I agree with. I don't think he should have been sent to the WBC just based on the fact of He finished the postseason injured. They had to pull him from that game because he was hurt. He hit an innings. He hit a high watermark in innings where the Yankees had to make up an injury for him last year to IL him. So he doesn't really. He shouldn't have had to done that in the first place. So we all know the Yankees are not afraid to tell guys no. They told Sevy no, so they could have told Nestor no. So there's something there. It's not just there's something there. Whether the severity of it we can discuss, but there's something there. So now you're a little, are you worried about durability issues with Nestor Cortez? Finish the season with an injury? We're starting the season with an injury now.
Well, the good thing is that it's the hamstring. It's not the arm.
But they're they're very tricky now, and he's having lower half issues now. So is this something that we're going to be looking at going forward, where we can't rely on him to make 25, 30 starts throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think, there's got to be something about the durability here, just because he's not a guy like a Garrett Cole who has multiple years under his belt with a lot of innings and kind of been there and done that, been through the grinder. He hasn't done that. But for me, I know it sounds silly, but I much, like Ryan said, I'd much rather it be a hammy than be something with the left arm, elbow, shoulder. I do think, too, I think maybe, the Yankees, I'm not saying that they're lying about the injury. I'm not saying that there is no injury at all. I just wonder if this has anything to do with the Frankie Montas situation. With knowing, I put out the information that I'm told he's going to miss the year, that he's going to have shoulder surgery again. It's a very Yankee thing to do. We've seen the Yankees do this. It's not new. That maybe they're just saying, hey, look, we know we gave you the go to pitch for USA, but knowing this, we can't take any chances here. We need you here. We need to monitor you here. We don't want anything like that to happen. So we'll see. We'll see if that has anything to do with it. I don't know if they would just come out and be like it's a grade 2, but I wonder if there's a little more to the story that we're not getting. We know the Yankees like to sugarcoat or baloney us when it comes to injuries. So this could be one of two things. It could be something where, like a Severino last year, where he was mad he wanted the 60-day IL. He felt he didn't need to. Or it could be something like with Judge a few years back. 3 weeks ends up being 2 months. So who knows? We don't really know with this team.
It's concerning now, right? Because there's something here, in my opinion. I don't think this is the Yankees just simply not wanting him to do something. I think the Yankees saw it. They could be being extremely cautious, right? That's completely in the realm of possibility. It's just that, we can't even get everybody in camp here before things start falling apart already. It's the same. It's a different chapter in the same book here, where it's like every year the Yankees, it's something that goes awry before the season even starts. Like, again, this could all completely be nothing, and Nestor could be ready to go on opening day, or make the fourth start of the year, or whatever the Yankees are going to have to do. But it's just one of these things that are swirling around this team that they don't. Can the Yankees win the AL East without Nestor Cortez, being healthy all year? Probably. I think it's fair to say. I'm a little higher on the Yankees this season than I was last year when I thought they were going to be a fourth place team, because I've seen the division now. I've seen how this division is. Baltimore will be better. I don't think Boston will be very good. Let's be honest. I don't think they'll be very good. Toronto is what Toronto is. Toronto will give the Yankees fits, but I don't think they. Do you think Toronto's closed 7 games on the Yankees? I don't think so.
No, I think they've improved. I don't think they're. I would say they've improved. Do I think they've improved to a degree where it's kind of like I just see them passing the Yankees? Not really. The other thing too we got to remember is that the scheduling is different this year. So the Yankees are going to be playing a lot of the bad teams in the National League also.
Right, and then you got the Rays, who they'll always be around, but they're not a threat to the Yankees. Let's be a little bit fair about it. So I might be higher on the Yankees coming into the season than I was last year, but this is still a team that they don't have a lot of margin for error in terms of what the ultimate goal here is. And I don't want to yell and scream about Brian Cashman anymore, but whether Brian Cashman thinks that they had a hell of a run at it last year or not is irrelevant to me, because they didn't. This team needs to go to a world. They need to at least go to a World Series this year. They don't have a lot of margin for error for that. So they need to be the top team in the American League. They need to have all the advantages that they could possibly have going into the postseason, because let's face it, they're not better than the Houston Astros. So whatever little advantage they can get along the way, whether that be home field advantage in a potential ALCS, is what they need to be focusing on. So, yeah, can they win the AL East without Nestor? Sure, but can they get to their ultimate goal without Nestor? That's a completely different story. And the Yankees aren't going to go out there and make any type of groundbreaking moves right now, as we've seen, because they still got a sack of shit in Aaron Hicks potentially being the left fielder. So, that's what worries me is that, even if it's a game here, game there, the Yankees can win the division by 5-6 games. It's like, oh, it's comfortable division win, but they can still finish 10 games behind the Astros and then, face that disadvantage again coming into the postseason.
Yeah, very true. Like you said before, the good thing is hopefully there's enough time still. And I hate saying that because I kind of feel like we're letting Brian Cashman off the hook when I say that. It's like you had all this time. You've had all this time to anticipate this stuff. Look, when the Yankees were healthy and we didn't even hear about Frankie Montas, I still think it was a good idea to add to that depth in the starting pitcher in the rotation. They'd never done that. They kind of sat back and just said, all right, well, we've already known about the injuries this guy's had. We knew he was even trying to come back from one of the postseason. We knew there was a chance that he needed more and more time in the offseason. And again, they know more than we do. And they still haven't pulled the trigger to go out there and try to add another arm to the rotation. You can't sit there and tell me there's no trades at all available, that there's nothing the Yankees could do to add more arms to this team. I just don't believe it. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, there's definitely some names out there that they could look into, but who knows? Like Michael Wacha is definitely one. You got Mike Minor is another guy they can look into.
Look, those are not. We've been using the term needle guys. These are not needle guys. They're not going to move the needle, but these are guys that can come in and make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 starts or whatever it is, and they'll be a lot more competent at it than Chichi Rodriguez or whatever the frig his name was that we were talking about last week. Chichi Gonzalez.
Chichi Gonzo. Chichi Gonzo.
The Yankees, that's what the problem is. The Yankees 1 through 5 looks really nice, but okay, 6 is Herman. That's, who's got a 6 starter as good as Domingo Herman? Not many teams, but what's after that?
Yeah. Clark Schmidt, you don't know because the Yankees don't know what the hell they want to do with him. Right. Is the guy, it's kind of odd because they drafted him knowing he needed surgery, and they felt that once he got it and he was able to pitch on a regular basis, he'd fly through the system as a starter. And then the Yankees like, no, we'll put you in the pen. And now, if he made some starts last year, multiple starts, enough where you're like,
I think he made one, right?
I think he made one only last year, yeah. And if it's the case when you're looking at him, you go, all right, well, he's a starter they've looked at for many years now, and they wanted him in there. But it's kind of hard to look at him as that right now because the Yankees don't even know what they want to do with him.
No, he's a middle reliever now. That's all he is. Like the Yankees, this is what the Yankees do. This is why when you look at some of these starting pitchers that are coming through the system, you have no faith in any of them because of the way the Yankees use them. Like, they did this with who the hell am I thinking of? I can't think of the guy's name right now, but they've done this before where these guys are starters. They have a need in the bullpen. They use them here, there, and then they just don't develop as starting pitchers.
Yeah.
So that's what Clark Schmidt, and he's not a prospect anymore. Clark Schmidt is going on his age 28 season.
Yeah, he's getting up there. I think it's maybe 26 or 27, something around there. But yeah, he's definitely getting up there.
In terms of being a young player in Major League, he's not anymore.
No.
Clark Schmidt is pretty much what he is. He's a guy that can go out there and maybe give you an inning or two here or there. But as far as being a starter, I think that ship has sailed on Clark Schmidt. And what are the Yankees going to? The Yankees can sit there and try to stretch him out. In the Michael King was the other guy I was thinking of. So Michael King is supposed to be a starter now. Granted, that's kind of worked out for the Yankees because Michael King is pretty devastating in the bullpen. But that's another situation where the Yankees didn't really stick to the plan with a guy being a starter. They converted him to a reliever.
Yeah. And Clark
you got to remember
Schmidt,
too. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Ryan.
Clark Schmidt made 3 starts last year, and
he didn't go. Really?
He didn't go over 4 1/3 in any of them.
I can't even remember the
against
other two.
Tampa, June 16th. Then August he went 4 1/3
against the A's,
Oakland, yes, and then the following start in the rotation in first week of September against the Rays again, 4 1/3 innings.
So he stayed in the rotation twice through than that? I didn't even remember
Towards the end
that.
of the year, I remember that. I do remember. That's
I
when
remember the
Montas
Oakland
got injured,
game.
I think, wasn't it?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah, I
I
think it
mean-
was when Montas went back on the IL and he took it over and he went from there. But
and then let's see what he did September 8th. I'm trying to see that following week. I don't see what he pitched. He pitched 3 innings 5 days later, but I don't think he didn't start that game.
yeah, I mean, if the Yankees are trying to sell you that Clark Schmidt is going to take a spot in this rotation, I'm not buying it.
we got 2 super chats to get to real quick. Our guy, Big Sexy Yankee,
He
also known
loves it.
as BSY.
Ooh.
So I now nicknamed him because he's a guy, and I'm kind of getting tired of calling him sexy. But he must be a pretty sexy guy out there.
Okay.
He says
Big.
Cortes out means now we ask for a starting pitcher besides for a left fielder in any trade, preferably, which is never going to happen, but the D-backs for Pete's favorite, McCarthy and Zach Gallen. We are not getting either one of those guys at this point, to be quite honest, especially not Zach Gallen, who's turned into one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. And then from our good friend, Ra Thompson, who says, I don't want to be negative Nelly. Negative Nelly, okay. But we deal with this every year. Just improper roster planning. Schmidt should be ready to give them 150 plus, but they failed again to prepare a starter for the season. You're not wrong about that, Ra. You're not wrong about that. I guess the other guy that we're missing that we're kind of like hopefully he recovers from his injury is Luis Gil. Luis Gil apparently is fully recovered and should be ready in spring, but is he another guy again that you're expecting the Yankees to go, well, he got a chance to, come out of here in the rotation? I don't know.
I mean, what do you expect out of him coming off Tommy John surgery?
That's my thing. I don't know. You kind of want him to sit in AAA and just work his kinks out and get a little kinky down there and then get ready back at this level, but I don't think that's a World Series team shouldn't be relying on that or hoping that that's the case.
See, to me, Luis Gil is a project. Even before Tommy John, he had that, what was it, 21? He had that great run where he didn't allow an earned run for X amount of starts, but you always saw the writing on the wall. The guy just didn't have good control. He needs to learn how to throw strikes at the major league level. The stuff is there. It's really good. The slider, electric, the fastball, electric, but if you can't throw strikes, you're not, what good are you, right? So you saw it, I would like to see more of Luis Gil, but coming off Tommy John, a guy that already has control issues, I'm not expecting anything out of him this year. Is Davy Garcia done? Are we done with Davy Garcia?
He's moved to the bullpen full time.
Because honestly, man, if that's it, then that's it. But that's the type of guy the Yankees should. I would like to. I mean, if you're telling me he's not, I don't know. I'm not that deep into this, but his whole goal should be trying to take a rotation spot right now. But that's one of the biggest. We talked about this a week or two ago. It's one of the biggest flameouts I can think of is the excitement you had around Davy Garcia, and you knew he wasn't going to be great, but he could have been a guy. I like to use the term like a knock-around guy that could have been hanging around, to take the back end, back end of the rotation, make some starts for you. He's not even that anymore.
Yeah, definitely. No, you're right. Got another super chat from Big Sexy Yankees. It's Pete. You sound a little like a prospect hugger. I don't even got to go anywhere on that. I'm very willing to trade whoever to get the Yankees to win. If you've been following NyynewsTV, I think you would know that. But all I'm doing is being realistic. Does any of us here really think that Brian Cash will now come out of nowhere and say, yeah, let's trade Dominguez and Volpe and these guys for a guy like Zach Gallen, who
he didn't do
Arizona's not going to give away.
So...
Hey, bingo, there you go. So you're not going to do it for Zach Gallen. So that's
no
where
disrespect to
I'm
Zach Gallen. I mean, if you're not doing it for Luis Castillo, you're not doing it for Zach Gallen.
I agree 100% with you. They didn't want to do it then. They wouldn't include Volpe in that type of deal. What makes you think that, is Arizona going to sit back and go, well, just take Dominguez for both of those guys? No, of course not. So it's not realistic is the problem.
I think barring I don't know, unless something really falls into Cashman's lap, what you see right now is Thursday, the Yankees are reporting pitchers and catchers report. I think it's the 16th.
16th, yep.
I think barring anything like really falling into Cashman's lap where he a little bald-headed prick thinks that he's winning the trade like he always has to do. I think this what you see is what you get. Like, this is what we're going to go into the season with, and then he's going to monitor the market as the season goes through, which is it's really shameful, bro, that we have to sit here and be told that, this is a World Series caliber team that you're going to give 2 of the 8 positions to Wash Donaldson and Aaron Hicks. It's really shameful.
It's batshit crazy, especially for a team that, like you said, is coming out there saying that, their ultimate goal is to win a World Series. And Brian Cashman even sat there at the year-end press conference and said, we know the type of things that we need to do. That's the reason we got Benintendi. He's talking about we needed to add contact. Well, Brian, what contact did you add to the lineup? If you knew that was the case, you knew that in November, what have you been doing besides scaling buildings and sleeping in as like a hobo? I mean, living life as a hobo. I get you.
Well, this is what the Yankees do. The Yankees rely on regression, meaning they don't think teams that were good the previous year will be as good the following year. We've heard that before, that they rely on that stupid notion. And the other thing is, they're always about what's in house. And what did you do to add contact? Technically they did nothing, but they're going to tell you that DJ LeMahieu was healthy, and that's your contact guy right there.
Yeah. I mean, but again, that's the wordplay of the Yankees. That's this whole idea of this process nonsense. And I even just to bring this up briefly with the chat, with this new news that the Yankees may have interest in Manny Machado again. Then what the hell was the point of it before then? Why would you have interest now, years later, when you could have easily had him at way less competition, and you had the spot open for him, and they decided to pass on him? So why am I going to sit here and believe that all of a sudden now the Yankees are looking forward to next year with the idea that Machado may opt out, and now they're going to throw $200+ million at this guy again? I can't sit here and believe something like that.
I believe Manny Machado is a Yankee when I hear Paul Olden announce his name as the starting third baseman on opening day. That's when I believe Manny Machado is a Yankee.
I agree. I just think it's more nonsense, and this whole idea of this process. Our process is in place. Well, what is that exactly? I mean, you're sitting there in front of everybody again, and you're saying what you know is wrong with the club, but you haven't made those right changes. You haven't made the correct changes that you sat there and said in front of everyone.
No,
like
and they've only made excuses too, whether it's because people are injured, or now the other excuse that I've heard Steinbrenner use is that the competition is a lot more, in depth. Well, all right, then get better than your competition.
Well, if I had one thing to ask, if I could talk to Steinbrenner one time, I would simply just say, can you pull up Yankees.com? Pull up the 40-man roster. Let's look at this together. How much is the payroll? Let's look at that together. You tell me if your GM is the right guy to do this job. Simple.
We've talked about this last year when Brian Cashman was bragging about the Yankee payroll in 2022, about the highest payroll ever. And I remember saying 100 times, Brian, that's not the flex you think it is, bro. The guys that you were paying is not commiserate with a team that you would think has a $260 million payroll. You had almost, $35 million tied up into fucking Aroldis Chapman and Zach Britton last year?
Yep.
You took on...
Well, I just want to keep bringing up these things because I think fans need to understand this, and I think most of our fans do understand it. But one of the comments he made in spring training, if you guys remember, was, well, we know that I can't do the voice like you can, but
right. Yeah.
What did he say again? He said, we know that Josh Donaldson's a much better offensive player than Giovanni Urshela. You're proven wrong again. You look like a moron. He flat out said that, like, we know he's a better player, so we upgraded there. No, you didn't. This guy hit 285 last year, 13 home runs, 500 at-bats, 3.1 WAR. I'm talking about Gio Urshela. But guess what the big difference is here? He's not getting paid $25 million.
Yeah, what was he making? 7-8 million or something like that?
7 or 8 mil. That's it.
You want the quote here from Brian? I got the audio
let's
here.
Hear it.
Yeah, we do feel by doing this trade that we've upgraded defensive and offensively at third, defensively at shortstop, and improved the defense on the catching side as well. So that was the audio from his comments on the Twins trade from
It's really
Crystal
amazing
clear.
how quickly you
Crystal
put,
clear.
Yeah, it really is. Like the
Yeah, I got
quality of
fast
that was
internet here.
phenomenal. Holy shit.
Yeah, I got good high speed here.
Look, if you want to be fair about things, Josh Donaldson is a way better defensive third baseman, Gio Urshela. I mean, if you want to be fair about things, but
that's right. That's okay.
When you trade for, I'm going to use his real name. When you trade for Josh Donaldson, you're expecting a guy. Maybe he's not an MVP anymore, but you're trading for a guy that you think can at least look like he's played Major League Baseball before. And there were times this last year where Josh Donaldson didn't even look like he belonged on a big league ball field, and that's what's got to concern you, And I look, through the years, no one's made more excuses for this team than I have. Maybe they weren't excuses. Chris liked to always call me the Yankee apologist, but I always like to at least see what the Yankees' train of thought was, because then it would help me live with their decisions if I understood what they were doing, right?
Yep.
But I can't sit there like a lot of people that are legitimately like apologizing for this trade now, like saying, well, Josh Donaldson had an OPS of whatever it was, and then he hurt his shoulder, and then he sucked. So it was his shoulder. No, he's just done. Like, he's finished.
Right.
Yeah, I'll eat my. If he goes out there and hits 270 with 25 home runs, drives in 80 runs this year,
there's no fucking way. Yeah, I mean, I would too. There's no fucking way. I mean, I think you could gamble on that one and win. Got another super chat from Big Sexy Yankee. Says, since Dominguez is compared to Trout, Griffey Jr., and Harper, why is he not making his MLB debut at 19? Well, because you answered your own question. Because he's not that level talent.
He's not that good.
He's not that good. He's not at that level. And I notice people, look, we just brought a new guy in, Yankees Farm, who does a great job with prospects and stuff like that. And he really likes Dominguez. But even he'll tell you, he's not that level. These guys, he's not that level. This is, again, the Yankee propaganda machine that I've been talking about for years now, is that when you go around baseball and talk, as I remember 2 years ago when I was at the Italian American Foundation and Mike Rizzo was there. Mike Rizzo was literally telling people that the Yankees prospects are overrated, that they know it. Hell, we even got to the point of where when it came to Soto, the Yankees weren't involved because they flat out said, we don't feel you guys have the stuff to get him, including Anthony Volpe. The rest of the league is not as high on him. That's why that list that came out that was done by advanced scouts, GMs, everyone involved with scouting players or just knowing about prospects, they ranked him as the number 2 most overrated prospect. Does that mean that he is going to be bad? No. But all it simply means is the Yankees do an amazing job of getting prospects on a hype train. Because Big Sexy Yankee, I've said the same thing as you have. If he really is this good, don't give me that nonsense about the Martian. He's this otherworld talent. No, he's not. If he was, he'd be doing it at 19 years old. We wouldn't be waiting for a left fielder right now. We'd be saying, cool, we got year 1 of Dominguez and left.
Well, that's what I've been saying, dude. Martian. What is a Martian? Martian is something that's not of this world. So 19-year-old starting for the New York Yankees is not of this world. It's not what you see regularly. A guy that's now going to hit age 20 and he's still projected to be 2 years away, that's just a regular prospect. That's nothing. Look, could he come up here and be an all-star? Sure, he could be. I'm not, I voted him as a bust when we did Beast or Bust a few weeks ago, but, if he was what we were told that he is, he'd be here. He'd be here right now. It's not unheard of that guys come up and make their debuts at 19. He's not doing it because he's just not that good. It's just plain facts. People don't want
The thing is too, he's a very, very raw talent. That's the other thing that people forget about. This is not a guy that was playing a shit ton of professional baseball.
Yeah, it's not like Bryce Harper when he was
correct.
He was playing under 17 teams when he was 12 years old.
Exactly. So it is different for him. But I think and again, as Christian said, he's not saying that this guy doesn't have a chance to be an all-star. He's not saying he's going to be a 210 hitter. The thing is that we're trying to say is the Yankees do this. That's why fans ask the question. Same thing with Anthony Volpe. You guys think if Volpe comes up and he's not a top 5 shortstop in Major League Baseball, Yankee fans across the board are going to be like, we love this guy. I don't think so. I think fans are going to be like, this is what we got. This guy's a 250, 260 hitter and hits 20 homers a year. That's it.
Anthony Volpe cannot be an average Major League Baseball player. If he just came through the system, you just heard, the Yankees having a shortstop, blah, blah, blah. And he came up here, he had 270, 15, 20 home runs.
That's
He played
awesome.
he played good defense. He locked down the position, but he's nothing in terms of like being special. You'd be okay with it.
That's right.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But the way the Yankees have hyped up Anthony Volpe, he has to be Derek Jeter. He has to be, a top level player. He can't be just average. That's why when you look at Anthony Volpe, in terms of beast or bust, when we did that a few weeks ago, Anthony Volpe is a bust if he's not one of the best players in Major League Baseball because of what the Yankees presented him to be. And that's why I have more of my hopes pinned on and think that it's more likely that Oswald Peraza will be the Yankees' future shortstop, because is he highly ranked in the system? Yeah, but there's no hype. There's no real hype behind Peraza. He can just come in here and play baseball, and whatever you get from him, you'll be happy with, as long as he plays well, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because a lot of the reports that you see, there's a lot of people that don't see a lot of negatives with Peraza. A lot of it is, people in here are talking about, I've seen this a couple of times. Well, hey, Dominguez missed a year because of COVID. Guess what? Everybody did it. Peraza's at the major level. So why are we not? Why is he not the number one prospect? Ask yourself that question. If he missed a year, as he did, a year and a half, whatever it is, 21 years old in the major leagues, about to be 22, why is he not considered the number one prospect for the Yankees then? A guy that has blazing speed. Everybody says, Baseball America, everybody across the board agrees that he is the best defensive infielder that the Yankees have, by far. If all that is the case, why are we not hyping this guy up that he should hit 3-something, this and that? But we're not. They're doing it for only a couple of different guys. Volpe being one, Dominguez really being the other one. And again, I just want people to understand, nobody here is saying that these guys aren't going to be all-stars. We're just simply saying that the way the Yankees have hyped them up, it puts a pressure on them they don't need, that the Yankees have done, that fans are looking at them now going, damn, if they're just really good, but they're not at that all-star MVP level, it's not what we were told. It's not what we were promised. That's upsetting.
Right. And you also have to take into context of these last two free agency periods with the shortstops that have come through that the Yankees have passed on. For all intents and purposes, Anthony Volpe, was a little bit more egregious last year when the guy hadn't even played at Double-A yet, and you're selling on, all these guys for him. But again, the problem is that the Yankees, they don't seemingly have a plan in place, because they still have Peraza and Volpe here. Gleyber Torres is here. DJ LeMahieu is here. Wash Donaldson is here. You have a gluttony of infielders. Now, maybe IKF is still here. Maybe you're going to tell me that Volpe is not going to factor into plans this year. Okay. But you still have what did I just name? 5-6 guys that can only play two, 3 positions. Why have trades not been made? I thought it was actually a decent move to bring back IKF, not to sign him and not let him walk, because he could be an asset. But at this point now, like, you haven't moved on from Wash Donaldson. You haven't moved on from Gleyber Torres. You didn't trade Volpe or Peraza for anything that you really need. What is your plan here? You can't keep all these guys, and you can't just simply tell me, well, Donaldson's gone at the end of the year. That solves one problem, because what are you trying to do this year?
Yeah, well, it's again goes back to the roster construction. It's just so strange, man. You know these guys are coming up. So obviously they've been on the Yankees' radar, and the Yankees have things saying where they obviously expect them to be there and what position they may fill. The Yankees got a glutton of infielders. They still have it. They've had it for years, and they've known about it for years. They go out there and get Donaldson. Donaldson now, best case scenario for the Yankees is, of course, they trade him. But what we almost have to hope is that we saw again today DJ LeMahieu taking ground balls at third base and working out at third base. I think at this point it's fairly friggin' obvious that the Yankees want him at third base if he's healthy. I think it's as clear as day. But now Brian Cashman's World Series caliber team has a $20-something million bench guy and Josh Donaldson sitting and chilling on the bench. It might even be so that he's going to be joined by Aaron Hicks on multiple occasions.
So you got $35 million sitting
You'll
on
have the
bench
most
right
expensive bench of all time in the history of Major League Baseball. Probably costly more than the Baltimore Orioles are.
The problem, again, yes, you're going to look at that. So then let's say Hicks goes to the bench. Who's a left fielder? Oswaldo Cabrera is not an outfielder.
It would be him now, right?
Yeah, you would think so. And I like the guy. I like Oswaldo Cabrera. But, again, when I'm building a team, if I'm building a World Series team, and thank you to Gio Destro, we appreciate the super chat, my friend. Thank you. But if I'm building a World Series caliber team, and I have the reins of this club, when I look at Cabrera, I go, okay, his value is that he could play everywhere. Why am I going to make the error because I didn't make a move that now I'm going to take away what he is best at and just stick him in left field and go, okay,
for a
cool,
position
no
he's
problem.
not even really good at.
Well, he hasn't played it since he got to the majors, really. So that's, again, the Yankees for you.
He was an adventure out there. If you told me that he was playing right field, I mean, knock on wood, for the reason why he would be out there, I would be a little bit more okay with that because I saw him out there in right field, and I felt like he played right field a lot better than he did left field.
100%.
But again, I don't want to lock Oswaldo Cabrera into a position, which I feel like the Yankees are going to end up doing because they're going to realize here's what the problem is, Pete. I think they know they're at a point of no return with Aaron Hicks. I think they do understand that the fan base is completely, well, even if they won't admit it for other reasons. I think we all know why people won't admit to certain things. I think they understand that after Derek Jeter night, there's a point of no return that the fans have turned on Aaron Hicks completely, that you cannot put him out there. But the Yankees haven't done anything about it. You mean to tell me nobody wants Aaron Hicks? Okay, fine. Aaron, go. Goodbye. I'll gladly eat your $30 million for the next 3 years to have you go play for somebody else. There are so many things. The fact that more people aren't mad about Aaron Hicks is a little concerning to me based on how he's acted on the field, the things he said off the field. And that, people always sometimes I just lose what I want to say because I just get so frustrated because I want everybody to be as mad as I am about the fact that Aaron Hicks is on this team. Okay. And look, I can deal with bad baseball players. I don't need to have a superstar everywhere. If Wash Donaldson is here because he's bad, fine. That's one. But, that's the thing. The difference between him and Hicks is that I said this before. I never felt that, okay, so he pimps 310-foot fly balls. That's today's baseball, right? But I never felt like he gave up on the team. He never threw anybody under the bus. We said this 100 times. Aaron Boone went out of his way not to throw Aaron Hicks under the bus. That's right. On Derek Jeter night.
Yep, he did.
Aaron Hicks couldn't wait to throw Aaron Boone under the bus.
Yeah.
But the Yankees, they don't do anything about it.
And again, I'm right there with you. It's hard when you do shows the way we do. We're always on camera talking about this stuff because we want to get the message across. And it's shocking to me. But then again, maybe it shouldn't be shocking anymore because we've seen this so much from the Yankees. I think any other time, I think there was a quote recently that was put back up. I forgot what world, maybe it was a 2000 World Series, where Steinbrenner basically came out and was like, if Joe Torre doesn't win the World Series, he's gone.
That was the 2007 Division Series.
Okay, 2007 Division Series. And then what happened? Joe Torre was gone, and Joe Girardi came in 08.
After 4 World Championships.
Exactly. But in what time? And I know, again, you guys say it, I say it too. I don't always want to bring up what if George was here. But at least have a little respect for your organization. Have some respect for your manager, maybe, that you guys feel more confidently about than even we do. That a player comes out and goes, hey, you know that Dave Roberts? He's giving somebody a chance and actually believes in them. Can you imagine how Boone... Now, this is why I say things about Boone, the certain things I say about him, that he got to find his pride. He put him back in the lineup after that. I would have made a call to Cash, say, hey, Brian, this guy's not playing no more. If he's here tomorrow, I'm gone. So you choose what you want to do. I'm not having this guy come back in his clubhouse. I've done everything. I'm looking like an asshole for this guy in front of the media and the fans every day. He got the balls to throw me under the bus. Fuck him.
Yeah, that was a major issue, man. And it is what it is, bro. There's only so many times that I'm much more reserved today because there's just only so many times that I can scream about this stuff because I just expended all my energy on it. Now, Aaron Hicks, he shouldn't be here. We all know that. He's here. Great. I hope that he's an all-star this year. I'm definitely, if he's wearing Yankee pinstripes, I'm not going to root against him. That's just a stupid thing to do. I hate people that say that shit all the time. Like, oh, I hate Aaron Hicks. I hope he strikes out 4 times. I don't because I want the Yankees to win. So if he's in the fucking lineup, I hope he has 4 hits tonight.
Yep.
The same thing, just same thing with Boone. Do I want Boone to be the manager of this team? No, I think Boone is weak-minded. I really do. And this is coming from somebody, we coined the term Booner for Boone. We loved Aaron Boone when he got here. And then slowly time has evolved now. And you've seen kind of what Aaron Boone really is. He's kind of weak. He's soft.
Very much. And that's not a knock. People always say sometimes, I say this all the time. The only things that I'm saying about Aaron Boone is what he shows on the field and via the press and things like that and how he's handling the club. That's the only thing we get to see. But we see so much of it. We see so much of it where it's really bad and it's tough to watch at times. But the guy just seems to have completely no backbone whatsoever. He doesn't stick to his word at all. We've seen him say, what did he say that one time? Remember exactly what Hicks? He's going to sit a few games. He pinch hit him one day. He drew a walk, and the next day he goes, I like the way he looked.
Right.
What happened to what you said earlier? It just disappeared?
He's got no self-awareness. We've seen this now. And, people want to make fun of me because I got mad at what he said about the Giants because he's an Eagle fan. But, again, that's just self-awareness. This is your home market. You got to be a little bit more self-aware than that. Then you compound that with him showing the 04 Red Sox comeback. I mean, come on. You're the manager of the Yankees, bro. You got to know better than that. You got to know that's not going to be well received.
And the fact of the matter is, right, that when Michael Kay tried, and I say tried because Michael Kay let him off the hook, tried to ask him about it. Look at his response. He don't even have an answer for you. Oh, I think you're looking too much into it. Really? So we're idiots? You don't have an answer for it? We're morons? It's insane.
Look, there's things I like about Boone. I think Boone is he's the type of guy that's always going to have your back, right? And I do appreciate that about a manager. I don't honestly I'm being completely honest with you right now. I don't want my manager taking shots at the players through the media. I don't like that personally.
I agree.
So, he can have Aaron Hicks's back in that situation. Now, I'm fine with that. As much as I don't like Aaron Hicks, I'm fine with that. Don't throw your players under the bus. Don't give the chum to the sharks. You got to keep that. You got to keep that. So you got to keep that that facade at least going. That you have everything under control. He's always the first. What do you want to call a fake tough guy, an actor, whatever. He's always barking. He's always trying to work the umpires for his players, right?
Slapping the desk nonsense.
Yeah.
That was bullshit.
Look, that was bullshit. Okay,
that was all bullshit.
That was all bullshit. What he does on the field, though, is a different. I'm talking about what he does on the field when he's always, that's a little bit. I think that's genuine to me.
But I feel like this year he overdid it on the field, where it was every bad call you saw. They showed him barking at the ump, and it's like you got to pick and choose when you're going to do that, or it loses its value.
Especially in the second half, because I really think what happened there. I think maybe he was he might have been feeling it a little bit. I think all of them were feeling it. And I think he was trying to kind of prove that. Like the thing, too, remember the comment he made on the Michael Kay show when he was like, yeah, I heard it. I puffed my chest out a little bit when they're saying fire Boone. No, take some fucking pride in it and understand you're doing something wrong. Like, how about that?
Like,
I take it as I puffed my chest out a little bit. Shut up. Puff your chest out to Aaron Hicks. Go puff it out to Gleyber Torres where you're making excuses for him every night.
Yeah. He said, do that. I stood up taller after hearing chants to fire me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Again, okay, all that, like I said, there's some things I like about him, but there are also things that you can't say and then expect me to respect you as a man. I got bullied, Aaron.
Oh, please don't start.
Aaron, please. Let's just say this. Even if you felt that way, don't say it.
My wife would leave me. The moment I said that, I'm wifeless. That's it. Divorce paper signed, give everything over, bye, go home.
Here's a simpler way to say it. I guess he didn't want to be fined, but sometimes, you know what? You make money, and I'm sure, and if I was Hal, I'd have your back. I'd pay the fine for you. Be like, this umpire was being a dickhead tonight.
Yeah. I thought the umpire was being a scumbag.
What's wrong with saying that?
Oh, my God. That's going to get you fired? Really? Come on. You should have got fired for saying you got bullied.
And that's the thing. And again, this is what we always go back to. There's a lot of things I don't blame Hal for. Everybody always wants to sell the team. You suck. You're cheap. He's not cheap. He shouldn't sell the team. He should have a little bit more awareness of what is going on, though, because again, your manager just said that he got bullied. And me, you know what? I'm 5'7". I'm this little small ass Italian kid from New Jersey. Who the fuck am I? But I'm sitting here saying, you know what? You're not gonna bully me, dude. You're a Major League Baseball manager. What are you getting bullied for? How are you getting bullied? How are you getting bullied by a guy that looks like fucking, he's fucking roly-poly over there?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I got a fun question to bring up based on a projection that I've seen on a player that's in camp.
Okay.
I just want to bring it up, but let me get to these 2 super chats real quick. Actually, 3. We just got another one in. Oh. Sopranos. This is from Big Sexy Yankee again. Sopranos trivia for Christian. Season 3, when Tony, Christopher, and Paulie travel to Italy, when they arrive at a hotel, who says to Tone, over here, they make it real? I guess he just said they make it real. Christopher or Paulie?
I just saw this episode too. I honestly don't know.
I know Paulie the whole episode goes Commendatore. That's all he ever says, right? On that episode.
Without knowing what exactly he's talking about, it sounds like a Paulie quote.
Could be a Paulie quote. Then we got Rod Thompson again. Another thing that's annoying me is how Yankees managers making our entire team weak. Just look at the recent quotes from players crying over the trade. I went into this in full, and I actually that's a great segue actually into this, and I'll still remember. I have the player pulled up, so I'll talk about that. But I want to bring this up, man, because we're seeing this too much now, man, and I really do believe it has to do with leadership. When leadership allows that stuff to happen, players can then get the green light to do it. We saw even Mike King come out to be like, oh, well, the deadline, we lost Monty and everybody felt so bad and we didn't play as good. Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? I can't get with this. I can't get with it. I can't get with the players coming out.
That's why I want
to
somebody to teach Brian Dable baseball and let him come manage the Yankees, okay? Because I got such respect for this guy. Maybe I wouldn't feel this way if I hadn't sat here and watched Aaron Boone for the last fucking 5 years. But to see a guy that has control of grown-ass men.
Nice. It's nice.
Kenny Galladay, not to get off on a sidebar here, the guy complete bust $72 million. He could have just been out there sulking. He's throwing fucking blocks in the playoffs trying to win. Meanwhile, we got fucking people crying because the guy that makes coffee in the clubhouse got traded. Shut up.
Joey Gallo is like a family member.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, that Michael King quote is wild. That it threw off the locker room. How are you saying that? How are you going to represent the team like that? You have no backbone to.
That's what scares me, bro. They could put this is almost why I got so excited over Carlos Rodon, because I don't think he's going to deal with the bullshit. I think he's legitimately going to fucking try to eat Aaron Boone's heart if Aaron Boone tries to take.
I pray. I mean, I tell you what. I hope it's the day we go. I hope it's the day we go and I can see it live. I hope it's April 1st. Tickets are still available, everybody.
5 2/3. He's at 88 pitches.
He wants to go, yeah.
Yeah, Boone's coming out to get him because there's a runner at second, and literally like fucking who was the guy? Kano in Mortal Kombat just reaches in
rips
there.
his heart out. Bah!
Really,
and I hope we get a whole like fatality on the speaker box. Fatality. That'll be amazing.
Don't you think though that there's only really 4 players, at least that I could think of, that should be making comments like Michael King made?
There's really one.
100%.
There's
Two,
really
maybe.
one.
Who are the guys? Who are the guys you think?
I'm going Anthony Rizzo. I think.
Okay, Rizzo. I agree with that.
Aaron Judge.
Judge, obviously, and Garrett
Cole and Carlos Rodon. I think.
And Rodon now, yeah.
Well, you have to go into the fact that he's been a top 10 Cy Young finisher the last 2 years. He has the resume. He might not have the Yankee resume, but he has the baseball background.
I wouldn't want him coming in here right away though and doing that.
I agree with that.
So
I would actually.
Yeah,
I want him to rip Aaron Boone's heart out, but to be chirping in the media like what kind of like.
Oh, okay, yeah,
he's got to pick. No, he's got to figure out
pitch.
his way of doing things with with the
but
media.
I think
but
you're right.
I
Cole,
think he
Rizzo,
deserves to
and
speak.
Aaron Judge. Those are everybody else. Just shut the fuck up.
Really?
I would love
shut
it.
up.
I would love it behind the scenes where he gets all the starters together and goes, "Look, are we pitching or what?" Like seriously, I think that's something that you could see him doing. Him and Cole together going, "Hey, look. You know, we need to anchor this. I don't want this bullshit that we're coming out with 4 and 2/3 innings because we're at 92 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, they're
like,
getting their
we need to be able to
hurt.
go.
They're all buddy, like, you know, that. But I love the whole, all the pitchers watch one another, but maybe it's time for some tough love and they need to really friggin' push themselves more.
I really hope that Cole and Rodon don't get along. Honestly, I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I really hope that they don't get along at first and then they become like cool with each other because I want Garrett.
You want to see like a rock? So this is a Rocky reference. We know what it is. He wants them running on the beach together. That's it. He wants the whole montage of the makeup. Yep. That's it.
No, look, if you okay, fine, but I want him to challenge Garrett Cole. I want him to 100%. Challenge for Garrett Cole's spot.
Damn right.
You know, I want to see that. Look.
Right.
No, but I'm still a Garrett Cole guy, bro. 3.50 ERA, league and home runs aside. The dog is in him, bro. We saw it in the postseason. That guy's there. I need to see it April through September now. I want to see. I want him to finally put it all together and be Garrett fucking Cole. I want him to be that guy, and that's why I think Rodon should come in there, dick swing, and be like, "You think you're the ace? Let me show you what I got." And I want these guys to challenge each other. And then even like little bro Sevy coming up from in the rears, bro, being like, "No, fuck you guys. I've been here the longest." That's what I want to see. Maybe not, be enemies, but have this like underlying tension with each other. We're all competing to be the top dog. That's what I want to see. And I think that could really be a benefit to the Yankees if that happens.
Yeah, definitely. Before I still get into that player, I think we had 2 more super chats. Daniel Holmes says the bats are what killed this team. Not
Daniel
the pitching.
Jones? Shouldn't you be
Daniel Holmes?
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, okay.
Yankees can never just address the actual issues on this team. Feels like self-sabotage. And the big sexy Yankee said, yes, it is Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah, because I remember Paulie was like super
Trivia
into like
update.
being over there. So it sounded like something that he would say. Man. And Christopher was just high on Skag the whole time.
Oh, yeah, he was, yeah. He's doing Christopher things, all right? Okay. Let me see if I can find another projection here on this player. But matter of fact, oh no, here we go. I think I found it here. Maybe is this what we're looking at here? Okay, yeah, these are steamer projections. But do we have a full? I want to try to get it where they give you more at bats. Let's see. All right, forget it. I guess I can't get that, but I got these ones here. So would you guys take this over Aaron Hicks? Now, remember, this is only 368 at bats, so you can make up your own idea of maybe it's 500
I don't
at
need
bats.
to hear it. Yes.
He's already saying yes. All right. 17 doubles, 10 homers, 41 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, a 255 average, 332 on base percentage, a 726 OPS. And that's only about 400 at bats.
Okay, these are all better numbers than Aaron Hicks posted last year.
Okay, well, that's Rafael Ortega. So that's the projections of Ortega that a lot of people are a little excited about this guy, and it's kind of sad that this is the person that we may be talking about. But it wouldn't shock me if a guy like him comes in, has a really good spring, that he could potentially even win that spot over Aaron Hicks to start the year.
But do you see the Yankees doing making the hard move? It's not a hard move to me, but for them it is. Like getting rid of the guy, just handing him his walking papers. Look, who is Rafael Ortega? Or is it sustainable? Is it just going to be like you might get a month or two? I don't know. I'm being honest with you. So But you're gonna Rafael Ortega, you're gonna have him here and just have Aaron Hicks wasting away on the bench. No, get rid of him.
It sucks because exactly like you said right there. Look, I don't think Yankee fans give a poot about what you get in return for Aaron Hicks. I think Yankee fans would have been more happy if they just say, you know what, he's dead weight. We got the roster spot's more important. Just dump him. Just get rid of him. The roster spot makes more sense.
It's a toxic.
The team loves Aaron Hicks, man. They would really disrupt the locker room if you did that.
There you go.
You got to consider their feelings.
It's a toxic relationship. It's not always like, when you're with a girl and it's just not working out and you guys are always arguing and, it's like World War III every time you see each other. Yeah. And it's not always about like, well, who can I start dating next? It's just that I can't date you anymore and I'll worry about the other thing later. That's what the Yankees need to realize. They're at that point here. It doesn't matter that maybe you don't have another girl lined up for yourself. It's just that you can't be with this one anymore.
Right.
So, it's a joke, but you fucking stuck a broomstick out there in left field instead of Aaron Hicks on opening day. I think you're in a better situation.
You'd hear more cheers.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you throw a jersey on it, forget about it. You hear a lot more cheers than that.
All right, so there's a couple of things that I just want to touch on before we wrap up the show here. Big news coming out of the Super Bowl pregame was that Derek Jeter signed a deal with Fox Sports. He's going to be a studio analyst for them for the upcoming baseball season. A little disappointed, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are like, "Yay, Derek!" Honestly, I love Derek Jeter as much as anybody. I'm not watching the fucking Fox studio broadcast for Derek Jeter. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. So, I mean, I'm a little disappointed in the sense that why is he not on Yes? I understand Derek. If you look at the clout of who Derek Jeter is versus the ham and eggers that are usually on Yes, it doesn't compute. But this could have been a real win for the Yes Network to bring in Derek Jeter to even do big time series, even if he did Boston, Houston, and the Mets. And that was it. It's the only time that he worked. People would really look forward to that. And most Yankee fans, whether, whatever you say about John Flaherty or this guy or that guy, you're usually watching the postgame, the pregame, because it's Yankee specific. You're getting information and news that you're not getting in other sources. I think having Derek Jeter there would be a real win for the Yes Network and would be a draw.
Oh, yeah. I would watch every pre and post if Jeter was on it. I'm not trying to watch Flaherty every time. Like, I'll watch him, but I'm not like staying tuned for him.
Yes, and it seems like what Fox probably does now have. If you were to watch one, I kind of feel like Fox is the one to go to. You got A-Rod, Poppy, and Jeter.
And, Frank Thomas.
I mean,
Frank Thomas.
And Frank Thomas. I think Frank Thomas is still there. That's impressive,
headed
man.
by Kevin Burkhardt. He's the host.
Good old Berkey. Good old Berkey's on the staff.
Is he still good
they
enough
got a good
to
staff.
do? Is he still good enough to do studio work? Now he's a Super Bowl play-by-play guy.
I don't know.
That's
a little
true.
below him there. I look. The Yankees need to liven up the broadcast a little bit. What about Nick Swisher? Why not stick him in there? Okay, Jeff Nelson. Jeff Nelson did a good job, but not for nothing. I hate using his term. He's just a little boring white guy. That's what he is.
He's not. He doesn't have a lot of energy behind him.
Yeah, boring's a good word.
Behind Nelly.
I don't mind Nelly, but I mean, he's not excited like Buck Showalter. I loved when Buck was in there because.
Yeah, Buck was my favorite, not because of what he would say, but how he would always be in a suit. No one else was wearing the suit.
I love Buck, man. I could listen to Buck. I can't anymore now. He's a Met manager, but I could listen to Buck Showalter talk about baseball for hours.
Absolutely.
Girardi was good too. I like Joe on there. Joe wasn't bad.
What do you call it? That signing they had at the American Dream Mall a few weeks ago. I was like, oh shit, Paul O'Neill's allowed out of his basement.
Wow.
And I think Michael K took a picture with him. I was shocked. I thought he put some PPE on before he went next to him, but he didn't.
Maybe it was photoshopped.
You guys still remember that he blew out the candles like this?
Yeah,
yes.
Fucking
forgot
cornball.
about that.
My God.
Good reference.
Okay, so you got O'Neill, you got Cone. You have Lester Cone now. He's doing ESPN. You don't know what the deal is with O'Neill because is he going to be allowed out of his basement this year? So I'd like to see. we watch these, we watch these games. Maybe you don't, Pete, because you're calling them, so you don't hear as much as the.
No, I never hear them. I hear them like
the
in highlights
commentary
and
as much
that's it.
as we do, but like, it's 20 years of Michael Kay already. What we need to hear something different. The days of Bobby Mercer and Phil Rizzuto are long gone now. It's like let us get a high energy guy in there like Nick Swisher. Maybe a Swish. Maybe down the road, maybe we could. I don't see it happening now, but I would have loved to have seen Jeter in there, man. That would have been great. Maybe
Jeter
not
would have been good. I mentioned this the other day. Jeter, it's fun to hear Jeter now because he's not like so PR driven. Like when he was a player, he was like, I can't say certain things. Like Jeter now is opened up a lot. Like he's cracking jokes, he's talking about previous things, and he's a fun listen. I mean, Jeter's definitely a much better listen than a lot of other people out there. So yeah, I think it is. I just wonder, you think there was there even any rumors or anything that Yes was gonna push for him, or?
I thought I heard something in regards to that maybe Jeter was thinking about it, or they were thinking maybe they couldn't agree on numbers. I don't.
Maybe it's a Cashman thing, man. Maybe he wants nothing to do with the organization while Cash is there. Till this day, I don't care if they said they've made up, they buried a hatchet. There's a problem there. You don't tell one of the greatest shortstops of all time, man.
Move.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You don't do it. And we know what a scumbag he is. Look, people can say what they want about Jeter. They can say it. There's a lot more on record when it comes to Brian Cashman being a scumbag than there is with Derek Jeter being a scumbag. A lot more on record. So the stuff that we've heard about when it comes to Derek Jeter, we know is proven when it comes to Brian Cashman. Even from Aaron Judge just now, basically coming out going he didn't want it public. Same exact thing Jeter said. And he immediately came out and made it public upon his best player's wishes. So this is not a great guy, so to say, in many aspects of loyalty and things like that with players.
As long as he doesn't break laws, I don't really care if he's a good guy or not. Just stop fucking doing stupid shit with this roster.
Yeah, I agree. I never cared about the being a good guy thing.
When you walk into the supermarket and the Girl Scouts are there, if you want to kick the table over with the cookies, that's fine. But as long as you're not trading all our pitching depth for fucking bum ass Frankie Montas, I don't care.
God, that trade is looking so bad, man.
No, be nice to kids, okay? Be nice to kids.
Sears would have been somebody that the Yankees could use right now.
I mean, think about that though, for real. Like right now, if you look at that trade, they traded Waldichuk, Medina, and Sears for Lou Trevino. That's what it eventually may come down to. I know originally, they wouldn't do that, but that is eventually what that. When this news comes out that he needs shoulder surgery, then that's what the trade is. The trade was literally, at the end of the day, it came down to those three guys for Lou Trevino, who's been damn good, but my God, you're not trading three of your top pitching prospects for him.
Yeah, he's been. Also, you look at Lou Trevino. Yeah, he's been good, but he's not an end of the game type guy. He's not an 8-9 guy.
Correct.
If you were telling me, not that you would ever trade those guys for a closer per se, but if he was more of a closer type,
yeah,
maybe you live with it a little bit more. But still, the guy's going to come in the 6th, 7th inning. It's been an utter disaster.
Or if you're, I was about to say. Or if you're Aaron Boone, I mean, maybe he was worth it because then he replaced your ace. So, I mean, he might have been worth those three guys then.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to get into that again, bro. That's still, again, you want to talk about things that Aaron Boone does. He quit on a postseason game that if you lose it, you're done. You're cooked.
The white flag was thrown in. I mean,
and
I don't know how the Yankees could have ever came back from that.
So, the other thing, I want to have a little bit of fun here. We'll close out the show with this.
A little bit of, I like fun.
Just a little bit of fun here, a little lighthearted conversation here that SGR sent in and Chris, we have a group chat, SGR, Chris, and myself. Was it you, SGR? You sent this, a 4 first baseman. You said to get rid of one. Is that you?
Yes.
So it evolved in my brain to this, okay? If you could get rid of one rival American League player, who would it be? In order to make the Yankees, I guess, path easier, if you could get rid of one rival American League player, who would it be? Ryan, you've been relatively quiet tonight, so let's get started with you here.
I mean, I'm going with the one that is like annoys me the most, that's Vlad Jr.
Okay, Vlad Jr.
All
I'm
right.
I'm going to the same team, but a different player. I need Alek Manoah going.
That's a
and
good
it's not.
one.
And look, I like Alek Manoah's personality. I really do. I don't dislike him. That he goes at the Yankees. I don't dislike him.
Tough though. He's
Yeah,
tough.
he might be, but he does do it on the field. He at least goes out there and performs. He doesn't just talk it.
He's a great pitcher. Don't get me wrong.
He's a great pitcher. So that's the guy. If I could get rid of one guy, I think they're the biggest threat to the Yankees. I'm getting rid of their ace.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with either of those guys.
Oh,
but
I forgot about the Astros too.
And I was just gonna go there.
Is that where you're going? Yeah, I forgot about it. I forgot. I'm thinking of AL East.
I thought it was AL East too.
No,
that's what I thought too.
I thought I said American League though, didn't I?
Yeah,
you did. No, you did say it right. You did say it right.
But who's the guy? Who's the one guy on Houston you would get rid of?
Jose Altuve.
Yeah, he's the guy, man. He's the one that makes the needle move on that team. So
he's their guy, and he fucking kills the Yankees. He lives to kill the Yankees. If you take Jose Altuve off the Astros, no matter who, he's the one you've seen them replace guys. You see how they replace Correa, they replace Verlander.
Yeah.
They can't replace. He's irreplaceable to them, and he lives for it. That's why this whole I honest to God, and it never happened because we got a bunch of dum-dums in this fan base. I hope to God I never hear "fuck Altuve" again, because it is like the Hulk. He becomes the Hulk when he hears that.
Yeah, it only helps him. That's a good one, Altuve.
That's a good one. I think you could convince me to change my pick to Altuve on that one, because you're right. For some reason, you said it right. I was just immediately going to the East, and I just thought about the Blue Jays. But yeah, if I'm thinking about it the right way, I think I'm with you on that one. I'm also worried about if he stays healthy all year, man. I'm really worried about Abreu on that team. I think Abreu's gonna have a monster year on that club all year.
Which is crazy that we would, because I was thinking him too, even consider getting rid of a guy that hasn't even played for them yet. So that just shows what's coming.
Yeah,
it just shows
they're going to be a tough team again. They're going to be a legit team. I think at the end of the day, right now, I hate saying it, I think they're the favorites, right? I mean, am I wrong?
They have to be.
They have to be the favorites to win it all again. I know that's doing little predictions like that. You never know what happens. A lot could happen in the season, but I think on paper right now they got to be the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them, I think they're a lot more stable. They're coming off winning a World Series, and I think they're a lot more stable than the Yankees are. Honestly, let's just be realistic. Can something change? Can the almost said Indians, can't say that anymore.
Can shut down? Thank you. Okay.
Can the Guardians make a little bit of a run at things? I was very impressed. I was impressed by the way they play hard. Terry Francona is a great manager. They got good starting pitching.
What I would do to make that guy a Yankees manager, man.
I don't think they're not a great offensive team, but they do have one of the best players in the world in Ramirez. Can they come out and do some things? They made the postseason last year. Okay, but look at the American League. It's the Yankees and the Astros. Let's be realistic about things for a second here. It's really the Yankees and the Astros. And the Yankees have way more red flags than the fucking Astros do. What have the Yankees done to close the gap on the Astros? Okay, what have the Astros done to widen the gap on the Yankees? They went out there and they're like, oh well, we have a hole at first base. We'll sign Jose Abreu.
They're the only team that could lose a guy in free agency to a $40 million contract and still get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
exactly.
currently they have the best odds to win the World Series, but they are tied, according to this is on a BetMGM, has Astros and Yankees at plus 650, followed by the Dodgers and Mets at plus 750.
You lose the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and anybody that talks about baseball the way that we do, or even professionally, like on TV like that, can sit there and tell you got worse because they didn't.
Yeah. And the thing about Houston is that we know this already, right? They still got a strong rotation. And they also got Hunter Brown, who is one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball.
Crazy.
And all he did last year was pitch to under a 1 ERA at the major league level in 20 innings. So he's another guy that's like, all right, well, Verlander goes. That's okay. We got Javier. We got all these other guys. We just locked them up long term. So we're set. We're set for a very long time. And the other thing, too, for the Yankees is we like to talk about, well, let's hope all of our prospects work, and let's hope that we're going to believe that all of our prospects work. Well, for the Astros, it kind of has, and we don't see that happen all the time. There's another team in the East, too, that is loaded with youth and loaded with prospects that are now going to be ready. Grayson Rodriguez, the number one prospect in baseball, pitching-wise. The Baltimore Orioles. Gunnar Henderson, who's probably the rookie of the year this year. I think could be a real nice competition with him and Peraza.
Adley Rutschman over there, too.
Adley Rutschman over there. But then they got even more. Jackson Holliday's not close.
Right.
I think Kowser's another guy they have that's close, and an outfielder. They got a ton of guys that are like, we're right there.
They've been winning 50 games a year for the last decade. I would hope they have kids coming up. You know,
it's a good timing for them too. It's a good timing.
When they overtook that second wild card there, you know, for a little bit last year, I was actually rooting for them, and it was a good story. And then they got a little bitch in them when they didn't want to pitch to Aaron Judge when Judge was, you know, chasing 61 there.
Right.
You know,
that was
annoying. But you know,
8 of the top 100 prospects are Baltimore Orioles, by the way.
Wow.
Okay.
And they're all at the upper levels. It's not like guys in A ball, AA and AAA.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Yankees have 2 of the top, according to them at least, they have 2 of the top shortstop prospects in baseball, and they won't commit to either one of them because IKF is still on this team.
Unbelievable.
No,
I got a prediction, though. I got a prediction on IKF. I think he's traded during spring. I think he's just one of those guys that a team is going to want because they might have a hole opened up. Maybe they got third, short, second opened up, and I think he's going to be one of those guys maybe you trade for a back-end rotation arm or maybe a couple of young pitching prospects.
As much as we don't like IKF, I like to be realistic about what he is. He's a very solid Major League Baseball player.
He is.
The
Yankees use him wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's not his fault the Yankees don't know what the hell they're doing. What's our famous catchphrase? Smarter Yankees.
Get the T-shirt. Get the T-shirt, folks. NyynewsTV.com.
Oh,
Smarter
Yankees. I'm wearing the captain today.
There it is.
Oh, wow. Nice.
El Capitan. Okay.
How do you call it? What the fuck was I going to say? Yeah, smarter Yankees. Let's trade for a Gold Glove third baseman and stick him at shortstop.
Yeah, man. There's so many examples of this.
And then wonder why he can't field the position. You know, so
they wanted friggin'. You know, remember they wanted Matt Chapman and played him at shortstop. He's like one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball. It's like, yeah, let's put him at short.
Weren't they involved in talks with Trevor Story to stick him in the outfield a couple years ago?
Yeah, in center field, the deadline. They wanted to throw him in center. It just makes no sense. I'm just like, you know, and again, I think this is again why you're seeing guys like Minaya and you're seeing Brian Sabian come in because I do think there's kind of here it is.
Scout guy Brian.
I think there's been a direct line that has gotten through and nobody's been monitoring what people are hearing because no normal organization is just saying get any of these guys and throw them out of position. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. You see what the Blue Jays did. They got him. They put him at third. He had one of his best years in the major leagues. So it only makes sense to put guys where they belong. And you know, they didn't do that with.
We heard this with the Joey Gallo thing. The Yankees don't believe in the human element. And they you know, this is what you do on Major League Baseball, the show, where you want 2 guys that play third base and you just stick one and put them at shortstop, and it's a video game. So what the hell is it really going to matter? It's not going to affect the way the game is played, really, for the most part. So that's what it's the process.
I'm going to make a T-shirt like the Steve Jobs picture when he's like holding his chin and it's all black behind him.
Yeah.
I'm going to do one of that with Brian Cashman and have the process. Like what was it? Like a Murder Inc. type style.
Perfect.
Not Murder Inc. Death Row style.
Yeah, I got what you meant.
So as we wrap up here, we want to thank everybody that's joined us in the chat tonight. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to NYY News TV. We're getting pretty close to 15K, right, Pete?
Yep.
I would say
closing in.
Let's get there. Let's get there before opening day, huh? I think that should be a goal that we should smash by opening day to get this channel over 15,000 subscribers. Also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. And Pete, since it's your baby, bro, I'll let you just speak on it. The event coming up on April 1st.
Yes. So we did get an increase in tickets. So there are still tickets available. So guys, if you have not got your ticket yet, if you're in the proximity of New York, there is the link right there now in the chat. Go check it out, man. I mean, you got We got the whole little suite up there, 5-star dining, an hour and a half before game time. All you can eat, all not ballpark food. It's like steak, pasta, chicken, desserts, all that stuff up until after the 7th inning. So it's going to be awesome, man. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. We're giving away MLB The Show, the Derek Jeter edition, the whole collection, 2 of them. Not 1, but 2 in a raffle style.
Okay,
at
2,
the event.
okay.
2. Remember,
Not
2 is bigger than 1. So
Okay.
1, then comes 2.
And then after 2 is
3.
It's 3. Okay.
3,
Okay.
correct. So we're having an amazing time. Anthony Medina, happy birthday, my friend.
Happy
One of the great
birthday, bro.
Happy
supporters.
birthday, bro.
Thank you to
Of
everybody who
NYY
left the
News
super
TV.
chat today. We don't say that often enough on this show, at least. But thank you to everybody who supports the show that way. We're looking forward to seeing everybody out there on April 1st.
It's going to be awesome, man.
It's going to be awesome, man. That we had to, Pete had to go back and ask the Yankees for more tickets. That's how awesome you guys are that we sold out the initial run here. So very much look.
Real quick, one more thing, too. Remember, guys, we're doing April 1st. But if you're in New York, if you're in the area, April 2nd, we're doing Game Season live at Gramercy Ale House in downtown Manhattan. It's no cost to get in. Come by and hang out with us. We're calling the game live. It will also be on YouTube like it normally is. But if you want to come by, have a few drinks with us, have some food, relax. There's a chef there. The guy's awesome from what I hear. So he's doing some special little drinks, I believe, too, like Yankee player drinks, specials for that day. Yeah. So it's going to be an awesome weekend. There we go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Planning some big things here, man. This is where you want to be. This is where you're going to get it. Where you're going to get
Damn. You're going to get it here. That's the new
You're gonna get
tagline.
it here.
Forget real talk for the real fan.
Right.
NYY News TV. You're going to get it.
That's a new T-shirt. Last year was
it.
real talk for the real fan. That was our tagline last year. This year it's you're gonna get it.
You're going to get it.
I've been saying, man, you know what? If you want sterile, fucking bullshit and sit there and everything's great and everybody's hunky dory, hey, there's plenty of podcasts out there for you. But if you want how you want it raw, you want it real, NYY News TV is
Raw.
Hell yeah. Just keep dropping them.
You're going to get it raw.
You're gonna get it raw.
There you go. So we want to thank everybody for their continued support of NYYST and the NYY News TV. Thank you for listening and watching episode 319. Maybe you'll get it raw after we're done signing off. I can only wish that for everybody.
Okay. I like it. Well done. Okay.
Don't overcook your steaks, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
I
man.
want to thank you for joining us tonight.
thanks, Pete.
So
Of course, man.
hopefully everything's well with Chris. Little typhoid fever running through
He's
the
a
house.
little
Yeah.
sicky. He's a little
Yeah,
sicky.
feel better.
Uh-huh.
Feel better,
I
everyone.
hope
over there.
everybody feels better over there. Again, okay, that's it. Goodbye. Okay. I'm throwing. See, you know what? I'm such a creature of habit. Chris is not here, so okay. So again, here we go. Let's rewind it. All right. Thank you for watching and listening to episode 319 of the NYYST podcast. SGR.
Go Yanks.
Pete.
Adios.
Goodbye.
There it is.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my been ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been better. Gotta keep on chugging. Ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven. Got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that. It's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it an FT to get them when they're